we were talking about earlier, Pat, the different phases of my life and how I started in systems. And then, I moved to LA and I'm thrown to the wild. And now I'm in a place where I'm starting over and rebuilding from the, I want to say the ground up, but just adding new rings to the tree. And so what's changed for me is that my systems went from external systems to internal systems. And what I mean by that is I do a thing called germs. And I talk about this on my podcast, Before You Kill Yourself. And I coach this to my clients at thrivewithleo.com. The germs are journal, exercise, read, meditate, self-talk, right? I do those every day. Sometimes I do each one for 20 minutes. Sometimes I do each one for an hour. Sometimes I do each one for 1 minute. But the way I look at the germs, exercise, read, meditate, self-talk, in that, like, I'm like a quarterback, because I played football. So I think like a quarterback, I was a defensive tackle, in that a quarterback has, when he drops back, he has 4 different receivers. He has 4 different options. It's overwhelming to try to figure out who to throw to. You have 4 different options, and you have guys who have very bad intentions coming towards you, right? And so he has to click through his progressions. He knows that I have to look at this receiver first, then that receiver second. If that guy's not open, I look at the third one. And then if the first 3 aren't open, I have to dump it out to the 4th one or throw it away, right? And so what does that mean? That if after I click through my progressions of I journal, I exercise, I read, I meditate, self-talk, and I still feel unmanned, as Abraham Lincoln would say, or anxious or overwhelmed, then I'll throw the day away. I go, man, I'm just going to take a shower and just lay in bed and just throw this day away. Sometimes you got to throw the day away, and that's cool. We just got to binge watch, Ozarks or something. Throw the day away. Don't be trying to make something happen. That's when you get sacked. And now we went from, 1st and 10 to 2nd and 23. Now we're in a bigger hole. Throw the day away. Quit trying to do something every day, right? So, but it's by clicking through my progressions that that's something I'm in control of. And so it allows me to reconnect with myself, with what I'm feeling, with where I'm at. It gives me clarity. And if that doesn't work for you, the second thing that I do, last thing, is just stop everything. Stop everything. When we become anxious, when we're upset, when we're hurt, when we're hungry, when we're lonely, we're always reaching for something externally, a pill, a potion, a product, right? We're reaching for all the P's. And when you're doing that, that means you're extending from yourself. When we look at anything about leverage and power, the closer to the center you are, the more power you have, the more sturdier you are, right? The further from your body you are, my finger is not as strong as my core. It's too far from the body. So when we're reaching for things, we're reaching for a lesser version of what we actually need. And so just stop everything. Cut your TV off, cut the podcast off, cut your phone off, stop, put the food down, and just sit and wait for it. But you have to be willing. This goes back to, for those who've lost a job, maybe lost their house, you have to be willing to reset. That's how you get better at a video game, that reset button, right? You don't get one player. You got to be willing to hit the reset button. So I hope that answers your question.